What does that mean when you say we didn't keep our lives child-centric?
We didn't adjust we still have our lives, so that when the transition was like Gabby's been working on her career the whole time, I'm still doing all my stuff. So it wasn't like they left and then it was like, oh, I need to get a career now, or I need to figure out where to fill the space that the kids were filling.
Yeah.
So I think that makes it difficult for people.
Do you think that's been healthy for them?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because then they, at the end of the day, they're looking at, what you do, not what you say. And so you're their example. So if you're living a life and doing certain things, they're clocking that. They're just like, okay, and so I think it's probably better for a child to have an example of someone who's having a life that's their parent, and then they can get their life, instead of someone that's a parent that's just their life is the kids. So the kids only have the example of somebody having their life for the kids.
Yeah.
Which, that's probably child rearing, and parenting is probably the, apex of our existence. Like that's what we're here to do. And so I wouldn't devalue that position, but I think it's important to, set an example of, of the kind of person that they could aspire to be.
Yeah.
Which is more than just like, hey, I'm your mom and I'm here every day and all I do is serve you.
What do you think the dangers of that are?
I don't think there are any.
No dangers.
No, I don't think there are any dangers in that.
Yeah.
I think there's more danger in that making the kids the center of the universe.
That's what I meant. What are the dangers in making your kids the center of your universe?
I think the list is too long. I think that, first of all, it's not honest, because the kids aren't the center of the universe. So if they go into the world thinking they're the center of the universe, they're going to be in for a big shock instead of, hey, they're part of a universe. And then that allows them to be part of a universe instead of, what do you mean I'm not the center of the universe?
Yeah.
I think that might be more difficult to have friends. If you're the center of the universe, it might be more difficult to have intimate relationships.
Yeah.
Truthfully, truthfully intimate. I think, I just think there's a lot of downfalls to that, at least the kind of people that I would respect, or that I would hope my children become, and then at the end, maybe because that's not true, that you're not the center of the universe, then that would lead them to have a difficult time to be happy.
Why?
Because it's not honest. It's not the truth, right? It's not the truth that you're the center of the universe. So you get out there and then all of a sudden you're not the center of the universe. Then you're like, well, then what am I? And then how do I fit in? And what is that? And then that search probably could be maybe frustrating, could be disappointing, possibly disappointing, especially if you think you're the center of the universe and then you realize you're not. Pretty disappointing. Could be, I would actually say, could be monumentally disappointing. Was
that ever your experience growing up, that you were the center of the universe, or did you have the antithesis of that?
No, my mom didn't have that luxury. And then my male examples were more self-centric. So that was the opposite thing,
They had that.
Yeah. They had their lives were more important than anything versus,
wow,
as important, or something that is important, but not, not exclusive.
I was going to start this in a different way, but because we've started already, we're going to go into it, if that's cool. And we'll circle back. But I have this photo of you.
Yep.
And I also have this one.
Okay.
And as I think about, obviously, my world has not touched greatness in the ways that you have, but I do have a father who played soccer for Manchester United at a very high level.
Yep.
And as I reflect on his world and even to some respects my own, having played professional soccer, there was some aspect of my upbringing and maybe a little bit of the dysfunction of it that inspired the heights that I went to. And I'm curious, just if you were to take me into your childhood, what I really want to know is, as you reflect on what you've created and what you've achieved, how much of it do you think was from inspiration and how much was from compensation?
Or desperation?
Or maybe there's a third one. Desperation. Yeah.
Could be a little bit of desperation. I would say, yes, probably all of them.
All of it.
Probably, different, some compensation, some inspiration, some desperation.
Yeah.
So uh, part of my upbringing created, some compensation, definitely some desperation. Like just our financial position, the fact that I was, different than most of the people that I was around. And so I think a little bit of all those,
Yeah.
a little bit of, and maybe, and maybe different at different stages. Early on, I definitely had a chip on my shoulder, like something to prove. I also had frustration too, and so that would probably be part of the chip and part of something to prove. So, and then as I've gone, I think some of that I've had to shift that motivating force. I think that can be a difficult time if you're always motivated by being frustrated and then you have no real valid excuse for frustration.
Yeah.
You either have to create frustration or you have to transition into what, and I would use surfing as an example of like, if I start off frustrated or trying to prove myself and then I'm able to prove myself according to me ultimately.
Yeah.
Then how do I transition? And for me personally, I transitioned that I realized that I just love to surf. So, and that was probably the original reason why I did it at the very beginning was that it was fun and I loved it and it was great. And then it brought me a bunch of other, other things that I needed, a place of equality, a place to challenge yourself. I mean, so many lessons.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say I probably had all those and maybe a few more.
In the absence of the desperation and the frustration, do you think you could have done what you've done?
I wouldn't say I couldn't have. I would say it might have been different.
Yeah.
How I went about it. It's like somebody saying, as you get older, wouldn't you like to be young again? I go, and not know what I know? Probably not. Probably not. Probably wouldn't like to want to be younger and not know what I know. I'd rather know what I know and be older than to be young and not know what I know, because I might not, first of all, get to know what I know in the process. I might not have learned the things I learned, because any one thing changes, everything changes. So, I mean, it was all those things that were hard, that were frustrating, that made it difficult.
Yeah.
I mean, those things are the things that shape me.
Yeah.
It's like, why would I? It's like saying you want to be shaped differently than you are. I don't have that. No. I don't really have regrets per se. I don't look back and go, I regret. I mean, maybe there's a few things that I've done that I'm like, oh, I would have liked to have done that differently a little bit, but I don't have like regrets. I've always thought that was important to not look back and have regrets. You just don't want to have regrets.
And if you were to think about the frustration, the energy that was fueling you early on, what were you frustrated at?
I didn't have a dad in the beginning, I didn't have that was an excuse maybe. I didn't have a father. Initially I was, our family was, I would say, poor. Like we didn't have financial means. So, it's like, you don't always get new clothes. You're not in a decent car to drop you off at school. And then you're different than everybody. It's like I'm in an environment where I am just different than other people. I'm a different color. I'm different. I'm an outsider. So, and when you're an outsider, well, there's a level of frustration because you want to be an insider. Yeah. Everybody wants to be an insider. It's a human condition.
I was going to ask you this podcast intends to create spaces for people to discover what it really means to belong. It sounds like a lot of your world has been fueled by that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, of course. I think it's a natural tribal instinct. We want to be part of the tribe. We want to be accepted. We want to be respected. We want to be, we want all that, all the things that you get from being part of some group.
Yeah.
Right?
Has the ocean given you that?
I mean, the ocean's given me everything I have. Like if I look at it, it's given me all the important lessons. I wouldn't know Gabby without the ocean. I wouldn't have my beautiful daughters without the ocean. I wouldn't have learned the lessons. I wouldn't have expanded my patience. I wouldn't have had all these incredible experiences. I wouldn't kind of see the world the way I do. And I would have seen the world the way I've been able to see the world and go in the world and do things in the world, in the places for me, if I look at it, I would say it's the grand master. It's like being trained by the highest master. I've been trained by the grand master and at the Institute of the Sea, and the lessons are too many to count. It's probably half of them I can't consciously even verbalize. I'm not able to even verbalize what it's brought.
If you had to articulate the greatest one.
If I said, okay, what's the greatest lesson the ocean gave me? I would say belief in God, probably.
How so?
Yeah. So I would say belief in God, belief in a creator and creation, just because of the majesty of it, the power of it, the beauty of it, the just everything, the magnitude, the depth of it, the width of it, the height of it. It's beyond really, comprehension. It's beyond our ability to even comprehend. We can kind of, it's, what are they? I mean, we've only discovered 3%, 4%. It's like, if that, and that's just actually just the volume, never mind the intricacy. After the sun, it's one of the reasons why we're here, or can be here.
Yeah. One of the greatest challenges for maybe most of the population is this search for and the pursuit of God and the defining of it. And it says, you just said that the ocean has given you a belief in God. If you could articulate what that sort of knowing is for you.
I mean, the one thing is it definitely will allow you to understand your position, which is very small, very, very, very small. And your knowledge is very limited, very limited. As smart as you are, as smart as we are, as smart as the smartest smart can be, you haven't even scratched the surface.
Yeah.
So I would say that your position, because of that insignificance, there's a certain humility, a certain curiosity. You're always curious. It's always changing. It's always different. The same day, on the same place, at the same time, it's ever changing, which is, in a way, speaks to the majesty, the beauty of it, the mystery, like, and the mystery is meant to be, right? We're meant to have a mystery, and we always will have one, no matter what we think we know. We'll always just get to a point where when we get to a place, there's going to be another place after the place we get to, and there's no end to it. And so I think that having that kind of perspective, like when you come into it, having that perspective, knowing that you're not going to know, even as much as you can know, or there is to be known, I think that, that's inspiration.
Yeah.
That keeps you learning.
We had Peter Crone on the podcast a couple of days ago, and he said that God's not available to you when you think you know.
Of course, because when you say God is not available to us when we think we know, it's because we just closed the door. The knowing, the think you know, is closing the door to knowing. Like you've stopped the flow, you've stopped the energy being able to you've stopped being able to receive it because you think you've received it.
Yeah.
So you've closed the opportunity. That's why what do they say? Retain your youthful enthusiasm. Be curious. You always talk to people as they go on in their lives, and the more they learn, the curiosity is the key. Which not a lot of knowing and curiosity.
No.
not a lot of knowing.
No.
And I think our ability to comprehend what God is very limited. Like we don't have the capacity. We can see the complexity within the physical domain already so complex we can't even, and that's what we see.
Yeah.
And what we see a couple percent of the light spectrum, 2%, 1% of the 99% of what. So, and that's even what we know about it.
Yeah.
Never mind what we don't know about it. So I think that's showing us, it's giving us an opportunity. So then it leads to, okay, I don't know. I feel, I can sense, I feel obviously something more, something greater, something beyond our capacity, which then leads to faith, which leads to I have to believe in something that I really don't have any evidence, but I know is true. I do know it's true. I don't wonder if it's true. I don't think it's true. I know it's true, even though I really don't know. So here we are back to the not knowing. I know, and it's if you know, then you stop God, and so that, but you have an intuition and a sense of it. You just it's
a sense.
Yeah.
Do you have a moment where that first became evident to you? Like that, was there a wave or a time in the ocean where that first sense of knowing without knowing became evident to you?
I may have had it always. In fact, we always all have. When did I remember?
Yeah.
I think it was over a period of time. I think it wasn't just I remembered on a moment. It's I remembered over moments. It's like I've had, so many experiences in the ocean, good and bad, thrilling, exciting, the most still moments, the most wild things. And I think all of those, it's an accumulation over time. I think all of those things have accumulated to help the remembrance, to help the process. I obviously, my original attraction to it was probably the beginning of that, right? But I had to have something that made me attracted to it.
Yeah.
And that started as a child. I mean, humans are attracted to it. Why does everybody want a beachfront house?
Yeah.
Why do we want to be, near the ocean? I mean, if you think about the ocean and then you think about God, well, and this is creation. And did God create the creator who created? I mean, it's like you just go, we can just get lost, but we can definitely say that the ocean, I mean, it produces the oxygen that we breathe, and it's living, and it's the amount of life that's in it. And then I would say, that if God created the creation or created the creator who created it, whatever circumstances there are, the largest aspect of that is the ocean. That's the biggest, that's 76% of the planet, which is just coincidentally the same ratio of our bodies. Just an accident. But so.
Whoa, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
The same percentage that the ocean takes up on Earth is the percentage of
water in our bodies.
What do you make of that?
It's not an accident. How do you get these? And that's just one of, an infinite amount of those that there's just no, it is statistically impossible for us to exist on Earth in space without some sort of architecture, without some divine plan, without some blueprint, there's just no, and I don't know, you can bring all the number of people in the world to me and I'd just be like, yeah, I'm sorry, but there's no way you can tell me, where they say, yeah, it's all explainable if you just give me the Big Bang. And I'm like, so you need a miracle. And then you can explain everything. Exactly. Just one miracle, and then we can explain everything. I'm like, okay, but we need a miracle. So who'd the miracle come from? How'd the miracle happen? So, so that, I mean, for me, I would look at it that way.
Yeah.
These things like that, pure seawater and just what your body does in the ocean, how it affects your body, and just, I mean, it's just all, I mean, so I look at the ocean as in creation, okay, land's pretty, rocks don't move really, right? but the ocean's alive. Like it's a living element that can go into stages that only water, the element can, right? You can be frozen. It can be a liquid. It can be a gas. It can be, and there's no elements that can actually do all of that. So again, and we're made of seawater. We're seawater. Like what's saline? Like we're, so I mean, I feel like that's just giving us an opportunity.
Yeah.
Like it's an opportunity. Like here it is.
Yeah.
Just take a look and tell me what you think. And then if you, from that observation, if that doesn't lead you to some sort of belief in a higher knowledge, in a plan,
yes,
in an architectural blueprint, in something.
Yeah.
I don't know how to help you. I don't know what to say to you. Like, like just all you have to do is just take a little time and be still and observe, and seems like you'll give it to you.
This also fascinates me because I'm curious if the experience of God disappears in the absence of awe, wonder, and curiosity. Because it seems like what I'm hearing you say is that the ocean has afforded you consistently all of those sensations.
Well, it shouldn't. It shouldn't disappear. Like that should, I mean, maybe that's part of our school. Maybe that's part of our journey, is to be able to still retain that belief without the awe and without those experiences, that maybe those can lead us to that belief, but it shouldn't be able to eliminate it. It's just, I think it's a lot more difficult. I think it's a gift that we have just because we're not that smart. So, hey, I'll help you out here.
Yeah.
So you might need this other stuff to get inspired, and have that. But I mean, I'm not sure.
My experience of you, and I've only known you for the past hour or so, but in my research is that you've managed to sort of maintain throughout your life that sense of wonder and that sense of curiosity and that sense of inspiration. And
it's not easy. It's not easy to continue to be curious. I think sometimes life, if you allow it to, it will just wear you out.
Yeah.
Like it'll wear you out and wear you down and give you a lot of reasons to lose that. You can lose that. I mean, you see people as they get older, they get maybe a little disheartened, like a little, lose the curiosity. Oh, I did that, been there. And it's like, to know it, been there, done that, kind of know it. I mean, if I have any chance at all is because I've continued to try to activate off of it, like to listen to it, and I benefited from it. And so in a way, could be like a muscle, could be like a muscle that you, hard to be curious if you're not curious. And if you're curious, it might be easier to be curious. It's like you just keep using it. Your curiosity leads you to a new frontier. You get a new thing, then keeps you inspired. You're like, oh wow, that curiosity stuff's pretty cool. And then you go to the next one, you do that again, then you do that again, and you do that again. And pretty soon you're like, that's what you do.
Yeah.
You're not going to stop doing that.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't, or you don't use it, then it gets numbed down.
Yeah.
It gets numbed. You stop, you kind of, you get overwhelmed by all the stuff designed to overwhelm you, like all the other opposing force to that.
Yeah.
The opposing force to the curiosity and wonder, because there's an opposing force. Of
What
course.
is it? What's the opposing force?
Whatever the opposite of curiosity and wonder is.
Yeah. Well, it's,
I know. I'm not interested. It doesn't mean it's like all that other, the negativity. Because I would say curiosity and wonder is a more bright light kind of thing. And then I would say the opposing force is just the opposite pole of that, which is mandatory. It's mandatory to have to keep everything running. It's like a battery, you just won't run without those opposing forces. But what's the dominating one? What one are you choosing to lean towards? You have an opportunity, you can go towards the the discouragement and the negative and the low vibration, or you can try to continue to go towards the enlightened, curious kind of high vibration. And maybe that's part of the challenge, is that we're constantly getting pulled, because we have that within us. And so we're always getting drugged back and forth, right? We're always getting pulled in both directions. But it's just, what's the dominating one? What's the one that wins, for you? And wins today on this hour. Yeah. And then what wins the next hour, and what wins the next hour. And then when you wake up, what wins the next day? And sometimes the one wins one day, and sometimes the other wins the other day. Sometimes it wins the first hour and doesn't win the second. It's always, I think it's something you're participating in, and you have to participate all the time. You can't just be like, hey, I'm enlightened, cool, and then just don't do anything. He's like, or hey, I'm discouraged, and I have disbelief, and then and so I'm not going to do anything. It's like you gotta play the game. Yeah. Play the game. Which
is interesting, because play the game, in the playing of the game, I don't hear the word competition. And when I look at your life, it sounds as though curiosity has always superseded competition. And I'm curious, can competition be the dark side of curiosity?
Well, I think competition definitely brings out the dark side of us. I think that when we are combatants against one another, I think that is a lower frequency. But it's also what we have. We're primal. We have that side of us. We're spiritual and primal. So we have that war going on. I do think that, I know for myself personally, it brings out the worst in me, even though I'm attracted to it, because it's part of this physical plane, right? You're, if you're the A dog in the pack, you choose the best bride, you win the trophy, you do so I think within competition, there's both forces happening, and there is a competition going on constantly within ourselves. We're constantly in competition with, again, the forces. So in a way, there is something about it that is not necessarily, it's just maybe the way we cultivate it. Maybe I personally felt like the competition maybe really is with trying to be in the light or trying to be in the dark. That's the competition, is between those forces, and sometimes you get pulled over into the one side, and sometimes you get pulled over in the other side. I mean, I always felt like, the competition is with yourself ultimately, and nature is the battlefield, So, you're competing with yourself, and then you're like, okay, I'm going to, ride this mountain, climb this mountain, ride this thing, do this thing. And this is a battle that you have internally, but the field is nature. The field it gives you whatever you want. What do you want to, you think you're tough, you think you're strong, you think you're smart. Here's your field. Here's your match. And,
Yeah. I mean, that sounds like another lesson that the ocean seems to have taught you, is that you can't compete with it. You can only collaborate.
Only collaborate. It's the field. It's not personal. It's not an opponent. Nature isn't an opponent. It's like, first of all, you always lose that match.
Have you tried to compete with the ocean?
I mean, you think you try when you're foolish. I mean, I think I learned a long time ago about it allows, people say, oh, you conquered something. And I'm like, you don't conquer anything. You're allowed. It allows you to participate. It allows you to, ride it, climb it, run it, swim it, whatever that is. It's allowing you to do that. If it doesn't want you to do it, good luck. Good luck swimming up a river. Yeah, because it's not going to stop flowing. So, then you could feel good about yourself because you swam a little ways and get out, be like, oh, I swam up that river. Yeah, I go, for a minute.
Yeah, but it also sounds that way, of that sort of perspective doesn't allow for gratitude, whereas yours has afforded you the opportunity to be almost like infinitely grateful for the opportunity to partake in this in this
Well,
thing.
the rarity to brings that too, right? Like when you understand how unique every situation is and how infrequent they are, and yeah, each one unique. I mean, that'd be, it's like what it takes to have an opportunity to be able to I'll use a wave because I've spent a lot of time riding those, is what it takes to create a wave and have it be there for you and you be able to be on it. I mean, that's a miracle, first of all. Let's just go there. Like, there's all the elements that need to come together to create this moment for you to actually participate in this experience. And in the pursuit of it, you learn that fast. You learn that it's not on Sunday at 12. It's not a Sunday at 12. You're not like, hey, on Sunday at 12, we're going to go out here and ride a wave. It's like, yeah, okay. Like what, what dream world do you live in? So, and that's consistent. That's just, and you don't know when, the time and the place. You need to be ready if you want to. I mean, the time, I mean, I spoke with a writer years ago. We had a lunch and, he had been kind of researching surfing and all this stuff. And he goes, I realize that you guys are really patient. And I was like, I just about fell out of my chair because I don't consider myself to have much patience, yet I would wait my life for a moment, literally, and have waited a lifetime for a moment. And so when I looked at that way, I thought, got a point there. I might not have everywhere else. Maybe I use it all up, for that, right?
Yeah.
Maybe it's all used up. I don't have it when I'm in traffic or waiting in a line or something, but I have it. I have it in that situation.
Well, it makes me wonder if patience is not something that we have or don't have, like it's only available in the presence of love.
Well, love will make you really patient. That's for sure. It's like I have daughters. I know what that means, So they've brought me to levels of patience that I didn't know existed, and willingly too. It wasn't even against my will.
Are you ever scared in the ocean?
Yeah.
Still?
I mean, I can be.
What does it take to make you scared?
I mean, if I was a mile out and I had a huge giant cut in my leg and I was having to swim back to shore, I might be a little scared. Just chumming for sharks, naked. That might scare me.
Yeah.
Now, what would I do with that fear? I don't know. I'm not in that situation at this moment. I mean, I think being scared is important. I mean, being scared is like, that's not a weakness. That's intelligence. If you're in a situation that's dangerous on the physical plane for your life, and we have a deep desire to be alive, if you're healthy, you have a desire to live,
Yeah.
then you're just not bad assessment. Bad assessment. Like, you should be scared. Now, what you do with that fear, that separates you from other people. Maybe I'll just swim real methodically and keep my heart rate down and be observant and just take my time and, do what I think will allow me to survive that moment, and not freak out and start, screaming or, splash in the water or whatever it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, that's, I mean, I always if you want to talk about fear and being scared,
Please.
there's a lot of ways to harness that, right? And fear can make a mother lift a car up when a child is under it. Mom's not really strong, but she becomes very strong. And it's, you watch I always talk about the antelope running away from the cheetah. The cheetah is the fastest animal in the world, but somehow it doesn't catch the antelope a lot of the time. Antelope's scared. Antelope's, but it makes the antelope faster, makes your vision sharper, makes your hearing better, makes your decision making. So, but then there's the other one, which is, deer in the headlights, where the deer's scared and he just stops and the car hits him. So again, I think there's different reactions that you can have, but to harness that power.
Wow, that's so interesting.
I never. That's power.
Yeah,
that's power.
I never would have thought, but I'm curious to know if it's actually the sensation of fear that has allowed you to ride some of the biggest waves.
No, I'm drawn to it. I'm drawn to being scared. I must like it because I've seemed to put myself in positions frequently, and maybe I like the way how alive it made me feel. It makes me feel alive when I get scared. I mean, I tell people, I go, if you ever are driving down the road and the car comes out in front of you and almost hits you, and then you get a burst of adrenaline and you're just like, and it's like you're present, everything's on, and you're in a state of awareness that few other things bring you into. I mean, maybe if you're some monk on a hill that's been, practicing for 40 years, you can get that present, but there's a presence that you get from that, that, and then getting through that, right? Going through the process of it. I mean, I've always liked, doing things that were dangerous. It's just, I liked it. I mean, but not stupid, not like, hey, I'm going to do dangerous things, and not things out of that you don't have some skill in.
Yeah.
The better you are at something, the more dangerous you can be.
Yeah.
Just the way it is. It's like if you're very good at something, you can be very dangerous. And especially according to the outside perception, they look at that, they go, oh my God, that's extremely dangerous. And you're like, actually, that's not nearly as dangerous as you think it is. But they don't have no experience to even understand how to be in that situation. So I think there's an ability to do dangerous things when you have a skill. So then you've all of a sudden developed a skill at being in a situation that allows you to be very dangerous, making it less dangerous, right? Making it it's actually less dangerous. And then there's always the variables, right? There's always the things that you don't account for, the things that you don't have experience with during it. The things that just pop up sometimes that put you past your kind of your skill level.
Yeah.
And then your skill level increases if you make it.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm curious for you, if like the danger was to be mitigated altogether, would it still be as exciting? Like if you knew that there was no chance of death, for example, would it still be as exciting?
Probably not. I mean, I mean, I would say there has to be consequence. Some consequence. There has to be some kind of consequence for me personally, to turn me on, to make me be on, and ultimately that's what I'm looking for. I believe I'm trying to understand myself. Why am I attracted to that? What's the part that's interesting? And there has to be a consequence, right? There has to be some sort of consequence to really bring in any value. How's it going to have value if there's no consequence? Like what really is there worth gaining that doesn't have some sort of consequence if you make a mistake or fail? There's not many. And then some of it can just be self-induced, right? Some of it can just be the consequence of losing and how bad you feel because you're just creating that in your mind. It's working.
Yeah.
It's the same thing as you actually fall off a cliff and you can break your leg or die. I can do, if I make something mean that much to me that's not that dangerous, it has a similar effect.
So you can almost create it for yourself.
Absolutely. All is mental. It's all mental. So it's at the end of the day, you can make, losing or not being accepted by the tribe, or why do they say like public speaking is, it's one of the things that people fear, almost more than death. It's like, how is that possible? But then you realize that the acceptance of the tribe could lead to you not being able to survive, which at the end leads to dying.
Wow.
Right. So, but again, this is all an orchestration that we've created in our mind. So I think there is my field just happens to have a little more of a physical element.
Yeah.
There's some sort of, and whether it's holding your breath underwater training or whatever, where you're going to like this, this perceived consequence, and maybe it's perceived greater than the actual.
Wow. This is so fascinating to me. It's like, I've never heard it put like that it's only in the presence of great consequence that we can do great things.
Seems to me that makes complete sense. When is it not happening? Like when tell me what there is that you can, and maybe some guys can put it on some big financial deal because they're going to be bankrupt and the thing and all that stuff. And then they're going to not have money and then they're not going to be able to eat and then they're going to die. But at the end, it always goes back to, it seems to always go back to you have to have it. You have to have there has to be some sort of consequence.
Yeah. What does that do for, there's two places I want to go. Maybe I'll start here and then I'll come back to the other place. The consequence for you in the ocean in moments has been death. What I want to know is is that a necessary ingredient for the true experience of life?
Well, I think that when you move towards death, the closer you are to it, the more alive you feel. I would think that's probably a mathematical equation. It's like the closer you are to the edge, the more alive you feel. Which is in a way can be beautiful because it's simple. It's not complicated.
It's
might
really
take
hard,
courage.
Yeah.
Might take courage. Might take faith, believing that you can survive, that you're going to be protected, you're okay. Might take some magical, belief system, something in the belief in the unknown. But I think you have to, there has to be some sort of, there's a relationship between the risk and the reward. What do they say? No risk, no reward.
Yeah.
No risk, no reward. So if the risk is death, if the risk is dying, the reward is being alive. So then you're like, okay, wow, I almost didn't make that one. Wow, being alive is pretty, and there's probably, I imagine there's there's all kinds of negative stuff in there where that's not easy to get all the time. And then you have these kind of chemical reactions in your body that you need it. You're trying to look for it some other way. So then you're looking for artificial ways to receive that, but there is none.
Have you ever had that?
The negative side of that?
Yeah,
of course, of course. Well, even just going into the situation, because you're at such a high from it, you're always going to have for every action, there's an equal opposite reaction. So you're always going to have a fall, right? You're always going to have a fall from that. And it's going to be a lot further if you don't think there's a fall. So knowing there's a fall is important because then that helps you mitigate the fall, reduce the level that you fall.
Yeah.
If you don't and you just indulge yourself in it, then it can drag you into the pit, and then what? And then people are committing suicide, they're just killing themselves. I am thankful that I have gotten to and get to feel that, I said to someone, I go, I feel like, okay, you're going to go, experience the creator or participate or whatever. And I'll be like, how'd I do? Did I do okay? And I'll be like, hey, good job. I'm hoping for the good job, good job. And can we always be better? And of course, but part of, I think, being here, is to have those experiences. I think those are, obviously they are because they've been given to us.
Yeah.
It's there for us, it's presented to us, and there's some destructive ones, as many as there are constructive ones.
Yeah.
And so in a way, I think when you develop a skill that allows you to go and have these kinds of experiences, that seems like a good use of your time. I'm just looking. You have a lot of things, a lot of time to do a lot of things, or no time to do a lot of things. What are you doing? And so I feel like that's a pretty good usage of your time. For me, I feel that way. I could be gravely mistaken. I hope I'm not, but it's a little late to change it.
Yeah, you always. It seems to me that the entirety of your life has been. You seem to be really clear on what you care about most. And for most people, a lot of people, it seems as though it takes them their whole life to really understand what they care about most. And by the time they define it, it's too late.
Well, it's never too late. Maybe it's too late to go back and live a life of you kind of having all that the whole time. But I don't think anybody does. But, I mean, for me, if I'm fortunate enough to be able to hold the line, like what's important, if I look and I say what's important to me, I think that I would have to lean towards a certain value system. I think my mother was instrumental in that. I think that how you treat people, the kind of man you are, honesty, try to be honest always. Have integrity. Have when you do something, do it with every cell in your body. Be a good dad, be a good husband, be a good friend, be a good man. Courage is part of that. I think there's just all these things, and if you just looked at those and you said, okay, here's the 10 commandments, not a long list. It's only 10 of them. Just try to live like that. And it seems like that seems to be challenging enough. It's a pretty simple thing. It's not complicated. I mean, I think we've complicated things and confused things in a way to distract the other opposing force to the other opposing force, to distract. But I think that seems like we have a hard enough time just doing that. Like we're doing all this elaborate stuff, and I'm like, we can't even barely just have integrity, love love yourself, love your wife, love your kids, be a good friend, be a good, I mean, it's just, okay, there's 5, 6, can you do those? We're doing all this stuff, but it's
people trying to figure out the meaning of the world, and they're not even being a good friend on a daily basis.
That's why I said, even when you talk about health and wellness, I'm like, okay, cool. Just how are you eating? How much sunlight are you? How well are you sleeping? What water are you drinking? What movement are you doing? How are your relationship? I mean, that's like, no one can even do that. And then they want to talk about all this, hack this and do that. I'm just like, okay, whatever. Cool.
Yeah.
And there's there could be a moment or a specific thing that could be useful. But yeah, it's almost like we're trying to hack our way into, just give me a pill that I can take that makes me have a good life.
And in some ways to avoid discomfort.
Well, yeah.
Always. To avoid challenge.
Yeah.
To avoid, which sounds like so much of your joy and aliveness has come on the other side of that experience.
Well, it seems to have such good, there's just such good reward from that. There's just reward, there's reward from the struggle. There's reward from the discomfort. There's just always, it's like, and you're going to, we talk about you're going to be uncomfortable. So would you like to choose how you're going to be uncomfortable, or would you like it chosen for you? And I'm like, I'd like to choose it because maybe I can choose some things that I can deal with instead of, no, you're going to be uncomfortable and this is what it is. And I don't want that. And you don't get a choice because you didn't choose a few discomforts on the way that could avoid a big discomfort on the end. It's and it is a human condition, right? To look for the path of least resistance. We're water. So that's what we do. And in an environment that is extremely violent and dangerous for an organism as fragile as we are in nature, that's a very useful thing. That's a very, the path of least resistance and avoiding discomfort made us survive. So in a way, it's like, okay, cool, great, I would say great mechanism, beautiful mechanism, but not when there is nothing that we're going to come across, not when nothing there is, when there's no, so then we create it, right? Then we create things to kind of fulfill the need. And then, it's like, now we avoid our avoidance of our things that have already been designed to avoid things. So now we're 3-4 tiers in and we're like, hey, we're avoiding the avoiding. And it's like, well, now we're not doing anything. Now cars are going to drive us up and the food's going to come out and it's going to chew for us. And then it's going to be you're going to be
I'm going to be so unhappy.
Oh my.
We'll be so unhappy.
Oh, so unhappy.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we're not ultimately in our essence.
Yeah.
We're not getting, we're not getting the rewards.
Yeah. I mean, that what you're talking about decollapses like the difference between survival and living.
Yeah.
Like the formula to survive is not the formula for life.
No.
And most people are living by the formula for survival and hoping that it'll give them life.
Yeah.
And it sounds like you've done, like if you were to decode then the formula for life based on what we're talking about. In fact, can we decode both? What's the formula for survival, which is how a lot of humans move through the world? And if they were to want to sort of like reorient to understand a formula for life, what would those two be?
I mean, if you want to simplify it and just say the formula for survival would be at any cost. At any cost. And the formula for life would be at no cost. At no cost. No, at no compromise. At no, like that that you don't want to wrong people. You don't want to you don't want to lose your compass, your values, your moral, you don't want to, I mean, I would, if to simplify it like that, if I wanted to go, that's what I would be. I would be like, there's nothing you could give me that I would take that would be like, hey, if you give me that, then I'll just lose all my values and I'll just compromise everything and do whatever I need to do for this thing that I think is valuable. That would not work.
Yeah.
So let's go to the because that's the one side. The one side is like, what do they say? Like lose your, gain your life to lose your soul. I don't want to lose my life, but I definitely would prefer to not lose my soul more. So I'm going on that one.
I'd prefer not to lose my soul more than not to lose my life.
Yeah.
So what I'm hearing you say in that is I'd rather give my life than lose my soul.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't want to lose my life, but I don't want to lose my soul a lot more. My life's I'm going to lose my life. It's all in a way you're like, that's like trying to keep something that's ending. You want to hold on to something that's going to end and give up something that's never going to end. Again, it's this math. Like, which one do you, let me go with the not ending one. Like, I'll stick for the not ending. Let me take that one and then
leave the other one.
Yeah, because it's ending. This thing's going to end. This thing's not going to end. So, I mean, let's drag it out as long as we can.
Do you have a relationship to that end? Like, is that something you think about often?
Yeah, I mean, death.
Yeah.
Do I think about death a lot? I mean, I think I've been forced to. Hasn't been it's not like I'm like, I don't really want to think about dying, but I'm like, I'm out at sea right now and I'm kind of far from everywhere. I could die right now. I'm at the bottom of the ocean or the bottom of an avalanche or whatever, just, So, yeah, I mean, I think it's important to be honest that way, like, right, to have, not be governed by it, but to be like, let's not think about it. Let's not pretend like it's not, I mean, because I think if you're aware, first of all, we're all going to die. And so far we haven't mitigated that. And I don't want to. So whatever these guys are planning to do to avoid dying, it's all theirs. I'm good. I don't want to not die. So that's the first thing. I go right off the bat. We're all going to die. And
so if someone told you we have something that would help you evade death, you'd say no?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, 100 years of this stuff, I'm good. Like, I don't need 200 years of this. What's going on? I mean, I could ride waves. He said I could go to a planet that, everybody was harmonious and we were all, we're just destroying everything and killing each other. I might be like, cool. Yeah, I'll go surf waves forever. I can do that with my family and people I love. And, for sure, I'm in. But yeah, this thing, no. So let's get that under the, like, no, I'm not. Then you download your chip download your consciousness in a chip. Oh yeah, no.
You'd be selling your soul in some ways in that, would you not?
Because you couldn't, maybe that's the place where you'd never be able to, you'd be trapped. Could be purgatory. Could be just put your chip over here and then you could never be released. The release is death, right? So then the death is the release. But let's say
what does that mean, though? The release is death. What does that mean?
Well, it means when you die, you're set free. You're free. You're just, you lose the chains of the body, the chains of the earth, the thing that's holding this thing's hurts and breaks. It's, it's amazing. It's a miracle. Let's not be kidding. Let's not kid ourselves, but it's temporary. It comes from the dirt, goes back to the dirt. So there's a temporary loop. But let's go back to the, that about thinking about dying.
Yes.
So we know we're going to die, right? And if you know you're going to die and you think about that you're going to die, and every day it's like, why is there such a great thing? Why is there such a thing about, okay, if today was the last day you were going to be alive, what would you do?
What would I do?
Well, I'm saying that concept of today's the last day of your life, you're going to die. What would you do? And so in a way, if you looked at it, every day you kind of thought that, and I wish I could do that more and get better at that every day I thought I was going to die, that was going to be the day of my last day. What would I do? I would enjoy myself. And I definitely make sure that I said things to people that I needed to say to them. And I would in a way conduct myself probably I would think for me, pretty beautiful way. Like I would think. Now, maybe some people, this last day I'm going to die, I'm going to go rob a bank. Okay, well, whatever. You got some other problems.
Some other shit, yeah.
But if I looked at it that way and I conducted myself like today was the last day I was going to be alive, and what would I do? And I definitely call people, tell them I love them. I would go, spend time with my family. I'd go in the ocean and ride a wave. I mean, technically, I'd probably do close to what I'm doing every day. So to live a life where you're conscious of death and you're living in a way that you think today could be the day that you die, for me, I would be like, that's probably an amazing life. Yeah. That's probably an amazing way to live. Like what a spirit, what a person. For me, it would be aspirational. Yeah. I'd be aspiring to that. I would be like, that is inspirational. Like I would like to live like that. And have that kind of appreciation, because you'd be appreciating everything. You'd be appreciating the meal. You'd be appreciating this little breeze that's blowing on us. The light, the tree, all of it. You'd be in awe of it, trying to just absorb all you could at every moment before you weren't.
It sounds like that's the most honest way to live.
Like I said, aspirational. It'd be nice. It'd be nice to, And maybe there's moments, you try to do that. I think when you have it near-death experiences, I mean, not out-of-body ones, but when you have near-death stuff where death is present near, it's just not too far, or it's, and however those are. And I mean, a lot of people have them, maybe once in a lifetime, twice, whatever. But I'll tell you what, after you go home and you're like, hi, honey, I love you. And here's my children and here's my dog. And, like you just absorb and take everything in. I think that's, for me, that's like, that's a beautiful thing. Yeah. That's just gorgeous. Yeah. That's a gorgeous thing.
Yeah.
It's like you said, a way to live.
There's no word that I've heard you use more on this podcast, but also I listened to you on Rich Roll's show a few years back, and there's no word that I've heard you use more than honest. You use that word a lot. And I personally would ask you this beyond camera because I'm really curious to know what your relationship is with that word. What does that mean to you?
Tell the truth. Tell the truth. What is honest? Tell the truth. It's not tricky. Tell the truth. Sometimes it's not comfortable, and sometimes it's better to not say things. Like my mom used to say, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. But tell the truth. Yeah, honest. Tell the truth. And That's a challenge. Like I said, I talked about a list before. Just do that one. Just never mind all the other stuff. Just do that one. That one. Just try that one. See how well, if you can, tell the truth. And the truth, not a distorted truth, not a, variation of the truth, but tell the truth.
Why do you think that's been so important as the underpinning of your value system?
Well, first of all, you never have to look back. And you don't have to remember. You don't have to remember what you said. You don't remember what you did. You tell the truth. It's done. It's just, it's done. You're sober. It's like,
yeah.
And then also feels good. Especially as hard as it may be at times, it feels so good after. It's like, it feels so good after.
Yeah. It sounds like the heaviness that a lot of people feel in some ways could be attributed back to the fact that they're carrying the weight of past lies.
Well, they don't end. They just grow. They're bigger, and you got to put more lies on lies to cover lies. It's like there's no end to it.
Yeah.
There's no end to that, And listen, all the truths haven't been exactly comfortable. Not exactly fun. I mean, but I think the more you do it, and the more like I said, the more I try to do it and the more consistent I am, the easier it gets.
Like a muscle.
The easier it gets. Beautiful muscle. Just easier and easier and easier. And then pretty soon you end up, because you do that, you end up living in a way that you don't have to have lies. So then you don't have to have lies. So then all of a sudden you don't even have to go through that. You have to tell truths that are hard.
Yeah.
Because they're not hard. So you haven't done something in a way. So it's like it's a favor to us. It's like, why do we have all these, like, why is all this, there's this ancient wisdom that's passed down to us, right? Why do we have, hey, be married and be monogamous and be the thing and do all this stuff? Like, why do we tell the truth? Like, why? It's for us. It's to make our lives easier, make them more simple. It's just to make it so that we don't have to deal with the burdens of all the other things that come with not doing that.
Yeah.
In a way, it's just a favor to us. It's like, hey, here's an opportunity. Here's a little, here's an outline. Try it out. It might be helpful. And then you start doing it. You're like, wow, this works pretty good.
Works, yeah.
Yeah. It's not that easy. I mean, It's not like it's easy. Sometimes the easier thing is just the wrong thing can be easier at times, but especially initially. But as you go, what you realize is that the wrong things are much harder, and they build, and over time they just perpetuate each other. And before you know it, it's like, then that's all you're doing. And that's just, what does they say? You'll know them by their fruit.
One of my favorite TED Talks is by a woman called Caroline Myss.
Okay.
And the TED Talk is called The Choices That Can Change Your Life. It's interesting. You just said, like, just do that. Just tell the truth. Because at the end of the TED Talk, she shared a few things and she boils it down to one simple thing. She says, liars don't heal. She says, so you can eat all the wheatgrass you want, but an honest person who eats cat food will go further than you.
She's not wrong. She's not wrong. I mean, a lot of times people are trying to make up for stuff, right? By having some kind of ritual discipline, like I do this, I do that, I do this. Like a lot of it's like trying to make up for something else that, and you can't make up for it. It doesn't. Yeah.
Yeah. There's no such thing as escaping the truth.
No.
It sounds like a lot of the health world is an attempt to biohack your way around some of the most basic things that are required to feel life.
Exactly. No, exactly. It's interesting to watch, actually, because for me, I'm just like, hey, cool, save the data, save all the things, save all the latest, just let's just go baseline.
Yeah.
It's like, it's like they want to build a house, but the foundation's completely destroyed. It's like, no, just build the foundation, put a tent up on it. It's not gonna go anywhere. It's gonna be cool, like no problem. But you got to build that bottom, and then again, it's a daily thing, right? It's a daily challenge. It's not just like, hey, I did that, I'm done. Foundation is built. This is a maintenance. This is ongoing. There's no, and I mean, we're all falling short, right? That this is the nature of being in the physical. Like there's rust, there's mold, there's like no one without, what do they say? Let he without sin cast the first stone. There's no one can throw the rock because everybody has we all have it. We're all human, right? We're all just trying to live day to day.
Yeah. Yeah. I want to go into being a dad of 3 daughters.
Now you're talking about serious stuff.
Yeah, all the rest was dumb. Fucking so
you're
many
talking
dumb
about
questions.
Serious stuff.
Oh, no, we're talking about serious stuff.
That's serious. Now you're getting into the dad world.
Yeah, what has changed about your view of life before and after you had kids?
Well, before I had children, I thought I knew something. I didn't think I knew everything. After I had kids, I realized I don't know anything. So let's just start there. We'll start with, I thought I knew something. I had my girls, and now I realize I absolutely know nothing. And if I thought I did know something, they've made sure that I know that I don't know anything. So they're just like, yeah. You don't know anything. I'm like, okay, I'll go with that. Well, and I think the vulnerability too. I think there's a vulnerability that you learn being a father that you can't experience as being a husband or just, a person. Like, I think you don't know what true vulnerability is until you have a child. You don't know what vulnerable is. I don't care how vulnerable you ever thought you were in whatever situation you thought you were in. At least for me, nothing ever has made me feel more vulnerable and more helpless than children, than having children and just, there they go off in the car seat into the freeway, or, my daughter's, got a cold, can't breathe, or, they're off in the Middle East somewhere or whatever, like, it's like whatever it is.
Yeah.
It's like, no vulnerability. Nothing you could do to me could make me feel vulnerable like that.
Yeah. It sounds like for you, who has based his philosophy around this sense of life and being alive, and then having children, and maybe at the core of what you want to do is keep them safe, but you know that in order to live their life, they have to almost abide by your philosophy. How does that make you feel?
Well, I also have to let them fly. I got to stand back and go, okay, fly, And so, I mean, again, lead by example. You can say what you want. They're watching what you're doing. And at certain points, you wonder if they're listening. And when I say listening, observing what you're doing and, picking up any of it. And then as they go, you start to see it come out. You see little glimpses of it. You're like, oh, cool. There it is. Because you're wondering, you're like, oh, is this in there?
Yeah.
Like, man, I would think that, the way we've lived, the way we've been with each other, the way we've been to them, when they're at certain stages, you're like, oh, I wonder if did any of that go in,
Yeah.
And then you see it, oh, cool. Some of it went in. We'll just see how it, how it manifests itself. But yeah, being a dad, I tell young dads, I go, being a father is like building a samurai sword. And they go, what do you mean? And I go, well, to make a samurai sword, you take steel, you heat it up until it's red hot, you beat it with a hammer, and then you put it in a bucket of ice. Then you take it back out, you heat it back up, you beat it with a hammer, you stick it back in the bucket of ice. And you just do that over and over, like over and over and over. And eventually it's the strongest steel in the world.
Wow.
And so your children take you, they heat you up, they beat you with a hammer, and they stick you in a bucket of ice. And they do that over and over and over. And then I feel like it's, for me personally, as a person, as a man, that's my evolution. Like as a man, as in my process of, boy, teenage, young man, older, husband, father.
Yeah.
Like that's the part of the evolution. That's your growth, right? And I always say it's called parenting, not childing. It's for me, not them. for me, not them.
Wow. So
So
you're in
you think
school.
it's for them.
Huh.
You think, oh, I'm the parent. It's for them. No, it's for you, because ultimately it's the tempering of your soul. It's the tempering of your soul. It's the vulnerability, the thing, and all the things that they
Wow.
bring out in you. I mean, love them, keep them safe. Okay. Give them some values. They're going to be good. But the whole process of it, it's for you. It's for your evolution, for your growth, for your expansion, if
Wow.
there is one.
What an orientation towards life, Danny.
Yeah.
What an orientation towards life. Sounds like it's opened you up to an abundance of lessons.
Well, second only to the ocean.
Second only to the ocean. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, a relationship definitely does it. It's having children. I mean, I think the whole avoidance of having a family and people not thinking it's going to get in the way of, their career and the whole, when you're young, run around, get chicks, like all that stuff that's all deception and distraction.
Yeah.
It is. It's designed to break up the power of the family. It's like, that, because that unit, that family unit that's part of the divine. That's part of what we're doing. That's what we're doing down here.
Yeah.
Like, we're part of our thing is, I mean, without that, none of us are here.
Yeah.
To be clear.
Yeah.
And when that's disrupted or broken, then the whole system's broken. Then everything breaks down from there. Like once we start, having kids in test tubes and whatever else, other stuff where they're going with it, it's like the departure is
massive.
Yeah. It's departure from our essence, from our lessons, from what we are. And the departure from the lessons, or departure from the, I mean, first of all, as soon as you stop having moms that are healthy and dads that are healthy, and I mean, the children are just, the children they're going to be off camber. They're going to, and then you can't be surprised that the behavior follows the physicality. Like, people don't correlate like physically sound with mentally sound.
Yeah.
Like, there's a relationship between the stomach, the heart, the brain, the system.
Yeah. It's fascinating to me that, one of the greatest sort of universal laws that has underpinned life forever is that we think the destination is everything, and we realize the journey is everything. And we as a culture are trying to cut that piece short.
Now let's just get there. Hack my way there. You just missed the whole.
I'm more unhappy than we've ever been as a result, because we didn't go to the grocery store and bring the groceries home.
Kind of ironic in a way.
It is.
There's some irony in that, I guess.
Yeah.
Again, God has humor.
God has humor. Well, one of the, maybe this is humorous, maybe it isn't, but you've been coined as one of the most masculine men on earth. And yet you've had 3 daughters and you live in a house with 4 women. And I'm curious how it may have softened you, but 2, if I'm curious to know if it's changed your perspective on men.
Well, I've always liked women. I love my mom. My mom was an amazing woman. And when I was young, I always wanted to be surrounded by women. I didn't realize that they were going to be my daughters. So I was like, I want to be surrounded by women. And then then I had 3 daughters. I was like, wow, maybe I didn't want to be surrounded by. And my mom had a saying that the way God punishes you is He gives you what you ask for. So, but yeah, I didn't need 3 daughters and a beautiful wife to know that women are smarter. I only needed my wife, but now I've confirmed it multiple times after.
Again
I'm like,
and again and again.
Okay. Superior species. It's good. I'm fine with it. Yeah. I mean, for me, I feel like I'm so fortunate to be able to have that, to have these, have an opportunity to be, an example of a man that I would like my daughters to be with. So, or if they so choose, find a man that I have an opportunity to conduct myself in a way that I would like them to be treated. So, like, I want them to be treated the way I treat Gabby. Maybe it's not the way, but it's the way I believe that it would be. I would like for them to have, a partner that was, conducted themselves in that way. And then also I have the opportunity to make them strong, strong. And I don't mean strong physically. They're powerful girls, but just strong spirit, strong in themselves, their confidence, their independence, I have an opportunity to do that.
Yeah.
And it's a big responsibility.
Yeah. One of my favorite quotes, and I'm not a parent, I aim to be, by the grace of God, one day a parent, but there's a quote that says, your children will rarely succeed in listening to you, but they will always succeed in becoming you. And the greatest chance you have to influence the next generation is to become the you that you wish they would be.
Works for me. I could easily say that, and it would be appropriate.
What are those ways of being that you think you and Gabby have sort of committed yourself to embodying that you wish your daughters would take on?
Well, our respect for one another. I think that's a big piece of it. That the respect that we have for one another, our individuality, and that we both have things we're passionate about. Those are things that I want them to, find the thing that they're passionate about, that they enjoy, that they like. I mean, for me, I feel like if I could just have content humans, I'd be like, hey, I got content people. That would be like a monumental thing, because I see very few in the world. When I look, I go, oh, there's very few content humans. I barely know any. And so in a way, I'm like, if I could be the father of a content human, good job. You did a good job. But, again, back to those values my mom instilled in me. I hope I instill in them just the whole honesty, integrity, loyalty, just all the things that I, that I hope for them, that I try to be.
Yeah.
Again, keyword try.
Yeah. Yeah. And
it's
you're
an endless process.
An endless process. And you are, is it 28 years you've been with Gabby? 28 years. My parents have been in the process of a divorce for the past couple of years, and it seems to be quite commonplace, more maybe now than ever, that is happening.
Yeah.
And I don't know the full reason as to why. Maybe more choice, and I don't know what that is, but like the recipes of an honest, powerful, empowering relationship. What is required of somebody and two people to create the sense of unity, but also my perspective on your relationship is that it's not boring. It doesn't feel boring, and that most people are just with the person because they've made a commitment, but they're dying inside every day. So to create a powerful relationship, what has been required of you both?
Well, first of all, they did a study with relationships, and they said the only key factor in any successful relationship was that the man respected the woman.
That's it.
That was the key factor. Now, that's not just it, but I have immense respect for Gabby. And then we both take our personal responsibility for making ourselves happy.
What does that mean?
Means I have to do what I need to do in order to make myself happy, and she does what she needs to do to make herself happy, and then we come together with happiness.
Wow.
I don't rely on her to do something to make me happy, and she doesn't put that burden on me. So we put the burden of bringing our own individual fulfillment on ourselves, and then we come together with that. So her pursuit and for her career and all her work and training and all the stuff that she does, I'm highly supportive.
Yeah.
Like I'm highly supportive of her. I'm not like, oh, are you doing this again? And like it's taking away from me. She's highly supportive of me. I mean, sometimes beyond my own self-support. Like I'll be like, I'm not going to, she's like, oh, you need to go, go on that surf thing and do the thing, or, and no matter, she'll adjust schedules and be like, hey, you need to do that. And so, I think that,
That might be the biggest one that I've ever heard. Like, you're responsible for your own happiness. She's responsible for hers.
Yeah. Yeah, because why would I, first of all, anytime anyone is putting the burden of their happiness on someone else, that is a recipe for disaster. It just is, because I can barely do it myself. How can I expect her to do it? Like, oh yeah, if she doesn't conduct herself in a certain way, then I'll be happy. No, I mean, that's just a setup for failure. And so in a way it's like, hey, and then a lot of it has to do with people don't even know what it takes to make themselves happy. So find that out. That's why I said to my daughters, content human, first figure out what it is. And I don't care if you have to subsidize it. Like, I've been blessed to pursue something that really brings me joy, that I love to do. It terrifies me. It does everything it's done. And I made a career of it. Congratulations, right?
Mm-hmm.
She has pursued a career that she's done the things that she wanted to do, the way she wanted to do it. And it's brought her happiness. And so in a way, it's like, that's that's your responsibility. Like, that's for that. And I think that's a big piece of it is, again, it's almost back to like what we were talking about earlier with like, we're just subbing out everything. Like, hey, we don't go to the grocery store. It comes to deliver at our house. We don't do the thing. This gets delivered. We don't even need to drive the car. The car drives itself now. It's like everything's getting subbed out. So now it's like, hey, I'm going to sub out my responsibility to make myself happy, because that takes work. First of all, you got to figure out what makes you happy. Then you got to go do it. And, and it might, and then it might involve some suffering. Like, I can go do heat and ice and do 5-6 rounds, and I'll sit on the inside the house and just be like, I mean, it would have been easier just to sit in the house, but I won't have that big grin on my face because I went out and just did. And she'll go down and, bang iron or, do all the stuff that she does. And she'll be like, hi, honey, and so it's, I think it's easy to just shift the burden onto the other person and then be like, oh yeah, or you're not conducting yourself in a certain way. So I think that's a piece of it. I mean, I don't think I think we're also quick to give up. We're in the give up time in our world. Like, we give trophies to losers and, we give up. Like, we have a tendency to give up quickly. Like, hey, this isn't working for me. I'm done. I mean, it's like, okay, well, I could have done that. I mean, Gabby and I had plenty of times in our relationship where we had things going on that was like, okay, I don't need this stuff. I'm done. Like, and had we done that, we would have never, ever gotten to these levels of love and passion and respect and all this stuff that comes from the effort. If you're going to do a 100-mile run and you run 20 miles and say, I'm done, you're not going to feel what it feels like to run 40 and then 60 and then 80 and get to 100 miles and be like, yeah, I ran 100 miles. So I think there's rewards for the effort in every discipline and everything that we get. There's rewards but you got to do it. You got to, and it may be uncomfortable, and it may be, and another interesting thing is not being right. Not being right. Like, there's a great quote from a guy that said, be right 10,000 times in your relationship and then tell me what kind of relationship you have. You won't have one. So it's like, I mean, I'll say sorry.
Yeah.
I got no problem with sorry.
Yeah.
I'll say sorry if I'm right.
Yeah.
I don't need to be that right all the time to be, I'm okay. Like, I don't have to be. Do you have to be right always and be right? Good luck with that.
It seems like it takes a man who's congruent in himself to be able to do that. Like, there's a quote that I love in that vein that is, being right is a poor man's version of self-worth.
Definitely. Well, because it's easy, because you can always just be right, because you can make up some story. You can always, I have a belief we can make up a narrative that justifies any behavior.
We could make up a narrative that justifies any behavior.
Of course. I could just say, oh, I was wrong, blah, 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 blah. I could just make a nice story up that justifies any behavior, anything I've done. Like, if you look at all the radical stuff people are doing, they have beautiful stories that just justify all that.
I know.
Beautiful. Like, we've just woven a beautiful web of fairy tale that makes it justifiable to do anything. And you're like, okay, well, that's still wrong.
Do you think that's what one of the dangers of AI, for example, is that people are putting their choices through this platform and being reaffirmed in their own dysfunctional narrative?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I feel like I'm allergic to AI a little bit. I'm a little bit of allergic to it. Part of it is, I think it's definitely a useful tool for fear.
AI is a useful tool for fear.
Yeah, it's a useful tool for fear. It's a good way to make people scared, and scared animals cooperate. Scared animals, and they do stupid things too. I always tell people, I go, if you ever want to see an animal do something really stupid, put a bird in a room and then open a window, and the bird will go in the corner of the room and just swim against, not swim, that'd be a fish, fly against the wall and bang its head on the wall. And there's an open door next to the bird and there's an open window, but he's in the corner just because he's scared. But there's a door. All he has to do is just go, oh, there's a door, and go out the door. So in a way, I think for me, I look at AI a little bit like that. And I'm still not convinced that it's going to be all it's going to be and do all it's going to do, because no matter what, it still only has the information that we put in it. It's human information. So it's like, I don't care how it can combine it and dig from the deep and pull and get access everything in a second, but it's still just all of our stuff. And all of our stuff's not great. It's not so great.
No.
So, but I also know, I don't know, I should say, I also believe it's a tool, and tools can be very useful when used for the proper job. But if you use a saw to try to hammer a nail, probably going to be a problem. But you know what I mean? Saws are for sawing, hammers are for nailing. Like, I think so. Because I have some friends that are very AI deep. My biggest fear is people's relationship with AI and what's it doing to them. Like, I see the possibility of just people being swallowed by it. I see it engulfing people, and that it's like almost like their new best friend and their confidant, and then they're having like they think it's, they can connect to God through it and stuff. And I'm like, well, you can connect to God through anything. First of all, that's not false, but maybe not the God that you might want to. The part of God. It might not be the part of God that you want to connect to.
One of the things that has been, like, even I've noticed it challenging for me, which is interesting because this podcast is called You Choose, and a large sort of philosophy or mission behind the show is that, choices can change your life, and the importance of choice and decision. And when I begin to notice myself outsourcing my decision making to these platforms, it may be the greatest corruption of my spirit, is when I use it to ask it what I should do. And I see a lot of people doing that.
Yeah.
Like outsourcing their decision making.
Well, because you've just outsourced your decision making to a bunch of bad decisions.
What a philosophy. What a great formula.
No, I'm saying, like, look at it. You go, well, I'm outsourcing my decision making to who? Oh, a bunch of bad decision makers. Okay, well, and then you're going to be surprised when a bad decision is made. Yeah, I mean, first of all, it's so infrequent that you really see good decisions being made. It's so rare. You're like, wow, that was a good decision. That seems to be a novelty. So then I'm like, okay, well, if that's rare, then it means you got to really dig down to actually make those kind of decisions. So you're definitely not going to find it on that thing. No, I think that tool, like, I do appreciate the ability to access information, like the Philosopher's Stone. Like, you can pull stuff, and we're getting stuff exposed and seeing things in a way that we never had the opportunity, which I think is amazing. Again, bright light, dark shadow, right? Like, what's the tool being used for? So when it's good, it's amazing.
Yeah.
But when it's not good, not amazing. It's
quite destructive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the whole, the use of control and manipulation and the things that we always seem to lean towards, right? Our default mechanisms in our species it's all about that, right?
Yeah.
It's all about, suppression of information, distortion of information, like, all that, confusion of information, all the stuff that they do to try to block us. When I say they, I mean the energy that is drawing from those fear, guilt, depression, like all that negative vibration, like that thing that feeds on that stuff is trying to cultivate it because it wants that vibration. It wants that low tone. So it's like the low tone cultivates the low tone.
Did I hear you saying something in a video? I think you was maybe sat on the sand about the vibration of feet on the ground.
Well, I mean, the earth is charged with an electrical vibration, right?
That was it.
So the earth is charged with a specific, and I think it's, what do you say, 6.8 or 6.2 or something hertz. So that when everything's not, power lines and radar and just all the stuff that the humans have done, but that is the exact same frequency as a healthy immune system. Coincidentally, back to the ocean, to the volume of the body, and here we are again. So that's the same. Those things are exactly the same. So when you're barefoot on wet grass or it can even be concrete because it's porous. The beach is the best. The volcanic caldera is incredibly great. Then you transfer the energy. Either if you're low, it brings your energy up. If you're high, it dissipates it. So normally you're high. Normally you got too much because you're getting bombarded by every kind of magnetic field. Wow. So in a way, that's like therapy. That's a therapeutic benefit.
Wow, I didn't know that. I want to pull you back to Gabby for a moment. You don't have to touch on this if you don't want, but I heard her on another podcast say that someone asked her, what do you do to keep your relationship so alive? And she said that you schedule sex. You schedule it in.
Well, whenever she says, I can get the golden prize, I'm obedient, It's like, what do you think? Like, I mean, at the end of the day, they have the prize and they're the gatekeeper. So, I just do what I'm told.
Just do it.
But yeah, I mean, schedule it, make it happen. Well, I think that it's, if you don't put effort into it, like put some sort of effort, like, hey, we're going to try to be together here or do this, and stuff just goes by, days go by, weeks go by, years go by, and pretty soon you're like, have we had it? Do we have it?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a critical part of a healthy relationship. Mm-hmm. It's like mandatory. Yeah. Like what do you, otherwise, if it's not happening, then you're probably looking around on the street, just your mail. Like, mm-hmm. I mean, what is the old saying? Doesn't matter where you get your appetite as long as you eat at home.
It's like
so, but yeah, there's a great story about what's his name? The guy that did all this feats and stuff. He used to swim and drag boats and I can't remember his name right now. But he was they were interviewing him, and he was 85 years old, and they said, we don't mean to ask, but how's your sex life? And he goes, well, I have sex nearly every day. They're like, really? That's amazing. Jack LaLanne. So Jack LaLanne, they go, okay, they're interviewing, hey, so I have sex nearly every day. And they're like, that's amazing. And then the next day they're interviewing his wife, and they say, we don't mean to bring it up, but I mean, Jack says you have sex nearly every day. And she goes, absolutely. I mean, nearly on Monday and nearly on Tuesday and nearly on Wednesday. So, but yeah, I mean, listen, we know that that's a healthy part of a relationship. Like if you're having, I mean, Dr. Oz said on national television, the penis is the dipstick of your health. Like if you're married and you don't have a regular sex life, I don't know what kind of marriage you have, unless you got something wrong with you. But like this is part of, I mean, this is like, This is foundational.
Yeah.
Foundational.
Yeah.
Sleep, sunlight,
Yeah.
water, food,
Yeah.
exercise,
Yeah. 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 But it
It's
sounds like the scheduling part is what's interesting to me, because most people just almost like assume it's going to happen, and then life gets in the way and it never does, and they wonder why.
Yeah, and
they
there's
don't feel okay.
spontaneous. There's spontaneous moments, but at a certain point, I mean, with kids and work and thing like that, you got to have, you got to have you got to make effort. You got to make effort. You just have to put the value on that. It's like working out. Oh, I might work out today. No, I'm working out in the morning. I'm getting up and I'm going to train.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like I might, like I'm going to work out. It's, I might brush my teeth. I might go to sleep. I might eat food. I might have sex. No.
I'm doing it.
We're having sex. We're eating. We're brushing our teeth. It's like we're doing,
we're doing those things.
Yeah. And there's things you can give kind of less of a priority, but there's certain things that you just can't leave to chance or leave to like, it might happen.
Yeah. How do you relate to then, you just mentioned, I might work out, like these sort of the new technology that's continuing to come into our lives, in which we can see our biometrics virtually on our wrist, like Whoop, for example. And like you could wake up in the morning and it says you're 43% recovered, and that is the reason that you don't work out. Have you ever worn a Whoop? Are you a believer in those types of things?
An Oura ring at one point, just because it was a few years ago, and they're like, Oura ring. I think they sent us a couple, or I don't know. We just I had somebody gave me one. I just had Oura ring, and when I would wake up and it said your HRV was low, don't work out, I would just go out and work twice as hard. Seriously. And then I'd see it, and they go, today's optimum. You work out hard. Maybe I'll just go for a beach walk. Like I would just do the opposite of it. I'm just saying, like so I appreciate it, but like I'm just so allergic to all that. First of all, who's the standard and what's the standard? Who's the standard? What's the standard? What's the biometrics? Like are you generalizing? Men, women, the same. All women are different than men. What men? How are, like, my metabolism and me and you and him and him and him and him? We're like, it's like, these are 8 different cars. One's a V8, one's a 6-cylinder, one's a 4-cylinder, one's diesel. One's Jet A, one's hydrogen. It's like, so that, all of that. And then I don't want EMF on my body anyway. So we just go there. So is it not Bluetooth? Oh, you can turn the Bluetooth off. I'm like, it's still electric, and it's on my body, and my body's electric. I'm like, I think I'm good. So, I mean, now as a reference, like, hey, has a wear it for a month, and hey, I felt like this, I slept like that. How did I feel? Okay, cool. Baseline. Then you know it. Then you take it off, and you're like, cool. It's off. And I have a reference of, I wake up today, I must have I know when I wake up and I feel like I haven't had a good night's sleep, and I have a low HRV, I'm like.
In some ways, it also begs the question, like, is it stripping us of our intuition? Because we don't have to listen to it.
For sure it's doing that. And then is it also taking away, like, besides our intuition, is it just another thing telling us what to do? And us not making decisions about what to do? Like, hey, today I'm going to decide if I'm going to, or I got to make that decision, or so. I'm just, so that part of the technology, and I have friends that are high level in NASA, special for, like, all that stuff, and they hate those things.
They hate them.
Yeah. They hate them because I think they're also a distraction. Like, there's a certain, and the lack of actual precision. Like, maybe they evolved to a certain point where they're really, but again, I think the amount of data points that are taken, I mean, we're electric, we're hydraulic, we're tendon, we're like, have 5 different forces that run the system. Like, and then looking at that, and then, okay, how does the light affect me? And how does I'm like, it's like, it's like measuring a wave. Somebody goes, oh, a wave, 100-foot wave. I'm like, a wave is a 4-dimensional object. And you're going to give me the height as a reference to what's happening with a wave. I'm sorry, I'm allergic. I'm like.
Doesn't matter to you?
No.
So all that debate about bigger waves and heavier, it's not for you?
I think it's a joke.
It's a joke.
I think a joke when the guys are 100-foot wave, 78-foot wave, 79-foot. First of all, who measured it? What kind of wave was it? Like, it's like, well, actually, my thing is like, what would you do on the wave? I don't care how big the wave is. What did you do? Let me see what you did. Okay, you survived it. Maybe you went straight. Maybe you did one turn. Okay, great. Next. So for me, it's like, I'm less concerned about how big the wave was than what'd you do on the wave while you were riding the wave. Like what, let's see it. Let's see your performance.
What a philosophy for life that is.
Well,
if the wave was life, I don't care how long your life was. I care what you did with your life.
Exactly.
Did you survive it? Or did you take a few turns? What did you do with your life?
We have a saying in Hawaii, it's not who you are, it's how you are. It's not who you are, it's how you are. Like we'll have celebrities, big, well-known people come to Hawaii and we don't care. We're like, I don't care who you are. How are you? Are you polite? Are you respectful? Are you kind? Are you generous? Now we're talking. Now we're talking. Yeah, show me who you are. Right? Show me how you are by who you are. Not, I heard, that's so-and-so. Like, I could care less.
Have you ever had the experience, obviously you've become mega popular, in the context of the world. Have you ever felt sort of misperceived in Hawaii as a result of?
Well, I'm always going to be a haole, right? I'm always going to be, so far I'm not, my skin's not going to change color. So I'm always going to be blonde-headed haole guy, which that's what I am. I am what I am. You can't, I can't change that, but I can definitely change how I am. I can definitely affect how I conduct myself, what I do, how I treat people, all of those things. Those are the things that I'm in control of. I'm not in control of the color of my hair. Unless I dye it, not in control of the color of my skin. I'm not in control of how tall I am. I'm not in control of these things, but the things I am in control of, I try to be, responsible for.
Has there been any culture that has had more of an influence on your life than the Hawaiian culture?
No, not even close. You can't, there's no, first of all, very few cultures actually intact. Who's intact? I think that if I said what's had the biggest influence on my life culturally, good people. What culture are they from? Oh, they're from the good people culture. Oh yeah, those have had a lot of impact on me. People that are kind people, generous people, big impact.
Yeah.
I've known a lot of generous people in my life. Big impact. Big, like the most impact of a human on me. Kind, generous, loyal, big impact.
It seems as though I don't know anywhere near as much of the Hawaiian culture as you, but the brief understanding that I do have, it seems like there is some practices that sort of underlace the value system that you've sort of placed upon your life, like one of the big ones for me is Ho'oponopono, the art or the science or whatever you want to call it of forgiveness and the ability to let things go.
Yeah. Well, I think also island culture. An island has a certain kind of, when you're on an island surrounded by ocean, there's certain things you have to make existence okay. Like there's certain things that, no one's going anywhere. There's a lot of accountability, right? Forgiveness is beautiful. The Hawaiian, like I said, the Hawaiian culture, the generosity, which I think somewhere in there's a relationship with forgiveness and generosity, and then humility. Those are all
part of it,
tied together, right? Yeah. Being humble, being generous, and having forgiveness.
Yeah,
it's hard I think it'd be hard to be humble and generous, but not forgiving.
It'd be hard to be humble and generous, but not forgiving.
How could you? How could you be humble and generous and not be forgiving? I think it would be impossible. Like, how could you not? Right?
Sounds like there's a recipe for resentment there for sure. Like,
Yeah. Of course you'd be forgiving. Humility. okay, I'm wrong. I'm right. I'm not proud, so I'm humble.
Yeah.
I'm generous. I'm willing to give forgiveness.
Yeah.
Give forgiveness as a present. I'm giving you something. It's called forgiveness.
Call forgiveness. Wow. It's a good gift.
It's beautiful.
Gift.
Good for you.
Good for you.
Yeah.
And for them.
Good,
Sounds like for a relationship too.
Good for the giver.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, good for the receiver, but probably better for the giver.
Would you say that that's been a big part of your relationship with Gabby? Like the ability to forgive? Has there been a requirement for forgiveness?
Not a requirement. I think it's again, it's you hope you learn it, but it's like it's in your best interest. When you go through the process of forgiving or you're forgiven, you probably want to work pretty hard and not putting yourself in that position again.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to have to forgive or you don't want to have to be forgiven.
Again.
So again, I think these are like lessons and opportunities where you get you get a chance to it's like lying. It's like, hey, you lie, you're like, tell the truth. And then you're like, pretty soon like, wow, I'm just not going to lie because I don't want to have to be in a position of having to lie some more or having to tell the truth about lying.
Yeah. So it's like, killing your spirit, killing your life.
Yeah.
You
That's what I mean, listen, at the end of the day, when these things we're talking about end up being like, this is spirit damaging. So I just want to try to avoid spirit damage at this point. And then we talk about dying and we go, okay, death. And then what's happening. It's like, okay, cool. Like, I don't mind a couple fake hips and broken legs and stuff, but let's try to, mitigate spirit damage.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing that's going to keep going. And this thing's going to get, plant food. So like, okay, cool. Don't worry about the plant food. Let's worry about keeping the spirit intact the best we can, given our skills and our capability. That's what I'm on, which is death is constantly reminding you of that. Like, hey, okay, when I die, my spirit's going to continue on. You're going to shed this, like taking this shirt off right now. And so what do you want to do about your spirit? It's like, I don't want to take my shirt off and then just have a, spirit with a bunch of bruises and cuts and, breaks. I'd like to, if I can, within my capacity, without, without being a monk on a hill, that doesn't have a family and doesn't have kids, doesn't have a wife and doesn't have all the other things that are challenging.
Yeah. Do you have aspirations with the ocean still in particular? Like
big ones. Yeah. Crazy ones. But that's I don't think there's an end to it. I think that's one thing that I've been blessed with is that every time I kind of arrive at a place that I've been pursuing, I always say the best goal is an elusive one. So it's in the distance and you're marching towards it and then you either get to it, but it moves and then and then you go to it and then it shifts again. And so, you still need to arrive at it in a way or piece of it, part of it to keep you going because otherwise you get discouraged. But I like an elusive one. I like one that's always moving and the ocean is forever providing.
Yeah.
Forever. There's no end to it. It's like, oh, you want to do that? Okay. There's always a bigger wave. There's always a longer wave. There's always something out there in the future. And I have a couple things that I'm either going to be, doing and participating in, or just participating in and bringing some young guys and I'll just send them over a cliff,
What are they?
But
what are some of those aspirations?
Just giant ocean,
Giant ocean.
Giant waves, just usually it has to do with rugged, usually something rugged something brutal. Yeah. something brutal. Terrible. Where the humans aren't.
Have you changed at all how you think about the ocean and what you choose to do in it after having kids or no?
I mean, not really. Like, if I've changed at all, I mean, first of all, and I talk about this. I think anytime somebody says, "Well, I used to do these things and then I had kids and I stopped doing them," they're just using the kids as an excuse because they wanted to stop doing it. Don't do that. The kids didn't ask you to stop doing it. Like that's not fair on them that you put that on them. Like, oh, you put that on me. I used to do it, but then I had you. And then it's like the kid's like, well, what did I do?
What did I do?
So that's not fair.
Yeah.
And that's not honest. The truth is you want to stop doing it. And so you stop doing it. And then you just use the kids as an excuse. Just don't use the kids as an excuse. Say, I want to stop doing it.
I have to read you this quote.
So I have that. That's the first one, that piece of it. Also, too, I want them to see me in that who I am. Like, that's who I am. Like, see me in it. Like, see me in the pursuit of it. See me in the achievement of it. See me in the aftermath. Like, see me in the thing. Because, again, blueprint, what are you doing?
Yes.
And so they can see me striving. And I mean, maybe that's just done something to them that I'll be sorry for, or that'll be burden on them because they're going to have to try to find that thing in their life. But I feel like they have an opportunity to do that. And when they do, it's going to bring them real like fulfillment. Like in a crazy way that you just can't get any other way.
Yeah.
So, and it'll look 1,000 different ways than what mine does, but at least they'll have a representation. So I for me, that's been important.
Yeah.
Now, has my pursuit naturally changed? Yeah. The biggest change is that what I find is that I'm not interested in doing what I've done. That doesn't interest me as much. Like, and sometimes I think it's easy to get caught in, hey, I'm good at this.
Yeah.
And I want to just keep doing this because this is what I do and I'm good at it. And inevitably you're going to deteriorate. I didn't lose interest because of the potential of deterioration or because of deterioration. I lost interest because I already did that and I want to do something different. And so then I'm over here doing something different and I'm like, wow, this is great. And I'm able to get that early kind of fulfillment of something new. I'd never done that before.
That's fascinating.
And it doesn't always have to be the biggest, the this, the that, right? It doesn't always have to be that kind of finality.
Yeah.
It could just be, hey, I'm riding waves with my eyes closed or whatever it is, whatever the next.
It also sounds like that's made you really hard to compete with for the people who would want to compete with you because by the time they even get involved, you moved on.
No, different contests. They're like, how come Laird's always doing something different right when the whole thing happens? I'm like, well, because I lose interest. It just happens to be that a lot of times the things start to catch up right when I lose interest. I don't lose interest because it catches up. I'm not losing interest because it's catching up. I'm losing interest because I've already gone through it. I'm like, okay, I got out of that what I wanted.
Yeah.
That was fun. Let me try this new thing.
Yeah.
So, but that's just the way, and I think a piece of that just has to do with the fact that I've been fortunate to not use anybody else as a reference.
What do you mean?
I'm not using I'm not making comparisons. Oh, they're doing that. I'm going to do this. They're doing that. I'm going to do this. I don't have a comparison thing. I'm just going off of what I'm interested in.
Yeah.
Like what I'm drawn to naturally, what's pulling me.
Yeah. It seems like you've really preserved your almost like childlike imagination.
It might just be like I'm retarded or something. It's like, who knows? It's like things like adolescent, what do you call that? Reduced adolescent development or whatever it is. It's like handy. Stop, doesn't work. Didn't go past that. Just got to the certain level up. Can't go up.
Yeah.
Whatever.
What a
ignorance is bliss,
Yeah. What a recipe for joy, though. Happiness, right? To just really.
Yeah. Ignorance is bliss.
I want to read you this. I heard you say this just in the vein of people using others as the excuse for why they don't do something. I heard you say, oftentimes people who talk about others as adrenaline junkies is actually a way to let them off the hook from doing the thing they actually care about but scares them. It's an easy way to not have to look in the mirror and evaluate where you might have more potential or be scared to push the edge in your own life.
Amen. Amen.
If you could elaborate on that for me.
There's a famous woman entrepreneur who, when interviewed, they said, somebody asked her, well, if you have a really good idea, what should you do? And she said, well, first of all, don't tell anybody for a year. And they're like, oh, well, why? And she goes, well, because they'll discourage you. And then they're like, well, why would they discourage you? And well, because they have an idea that they're not acting on. And so they don't want you to act on your idea because then it'll remind them how they're not acting on their idea. So in a way, I think it has a lot to do with that, right? It has a lot to do with the potential, right? Like your responsibility, like you have ideas, you have things you want to do. and you're not acting on them, then somebody comes along and says, hey, I got this idea, and you're like, oh yeah, you don't want to do that. Instead of like, wow, they're doing it. I should be doing it too, right? Just it's a way to get off the hook of having to actually participate. It's like us. It's like during these last few years when we're, instead of looking up stuff and understanding what's going on yourself to make a decision, you're looking at some expert to tell you, hey, this is what you should do. It's like, well, no, you should look around and decide what you want to do given the evidence that you have. But then you put it on yourself. You have to do it. You have to look. You have to think. You have to. And the bottom line is, I think the number one thing that inhibits everyone is the fear of failure. That's the number one thing, right? Because no one wants to fail. So in the desire to not fail, you end up not participating. You end up not even doing, because you can't fail if you don't do it. But there's a great saying, there's great honor in a failed attempt, no honor in no attempt. So better to fail in an attempt than to not do it. And for me, I feel like I've been fortunate because of my upbringing and because of the way that, of what I was exposed to. First of all, I'm undiscourageable. Like, you just cannot discourage me. So
no one.
Undiscourageable.
Even Gabby.
Undiscourageable.
Wow.
Like, it's I mean, I feel sorry for her. Because we had a conversation about it one time. She goes, this is pretty tough to live with. And I go, you think it's tough to live with? How about being like this? So, like, tough to live with? That's child's play. I mean, I'm having to do it. But that pursuit, but the ability for failure. I think surfing has taught me so much failure, so much failure, continued failure, ongoing failure, that, again, a muscle doesn't discourage you. You're not, and if you're discouraged, it's for a moment. It's a temporary discouragement. Could be a broken leg. It's temporary. It's going to heal. You're going to do it. But so I think that's a big piece of it, that people fear failure to the point that they won't even actually attempt. They won't attempt. And once you've done that a few times, pretty soon you're just in failure avoidance. Pretty soon, because you're in fear avoidance. So you're just because everybody's in fear avoidance, pretty much. I mean, if you didn't see the way people act the last few years, fear avoidance at any cost. Doesn't even at the cost of their life.
No.
So we're in fear avoidance. And so failure is a representation of fear, right? Failure, fear. I'm scared of thing. This is a negative. And so I think for me, I feel like that's that's a big, and it's back to consequence that we talked about. Like, nothing fulfilling doesn't have consequence.
That's why
the consequence of failure.
Yeah. So I think there's such a big dating crisis in young people in particular, is because you can avoid rejection.
Rejection. Yeah. Oh yeah. No one wants to a girl to go, oh no, I don't want to go with you. It's like,
Yeah.
I mean, that crushes you as a young male. You ask a girl out and she goes, no.
But it doesn't crush you as much as avoiding it does.
Well, you won't even get a chance to be crushed. You won't even know, and you won't even be able to use that. Like, that crushing creates motivation. You might go to the gym and start working out. You might, do whatever. You might invent something or create something or do. I mean, because it's what we do.
Yeah.
Like males, we love to create because we're trying to impress the girls.
Yeah.
Like, look at me.
Yeah.
I can. I built a building.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds like, I want to hear your perspective on that as a sort of value, crucial aspect of a man's sort of existence in the world. And the reason I ask is because we've sort of found ourselves in this culture that there's a heavy culture of like, well, you're just worthy as you are for men. But a lot of men are depressed under that narrative and unhappy under that narrative. Just accept your worth as you are. So like,
well, that seems like a demasculization. Like, that seems like a making men that women aren't interested in. You want to make men that women aren't interested in? Just think you're worthy as you are. Good job. Because you go into my house and you meet my daughters, you're going to have to be a lot more than just you are. Now, yes, good person, humble, respectful, like all those things. But there's a great quote, and it says that you can't be peaceful unless you're capable of great violence. Because if you're not capable of great violence, then you're just harmless. And so we can just go with that, like
most men aren't actually peaceful. They're just harmless. That's not peace. Wow, that is so powerful.
And so in a way, and I don't mean to be violent, but I use it more like if you just think being you is enough, good luck. Good luck. Good luck in first of all, in finding a mate. Like, let's just go biology. Let's go like, you know who Vladimir Klitschko is?
Yeah.
So he's a friend of mine, and I talked to him because he's a doctor, PhD. He's highly intelligent, probably one of the only PhD doctor, world champion heavyweight. And we were talking, and I was talking about boxing. I'm like, well, why do you fight everything? He goes, well, because at the end of the day, you get to choose what woman you want to be with. And I mean, this is an elegant, intelligent man, but he's just going full primal biology. Let's just go to biology because again, we're in technology, but we're biology, and so we've gone away from our biology, pretending like it's not influencing us and influencing us every minute of every day. We're biology. We're I don't care what technology. We're biology, like, so, and I'm not saying, oh yeah, if you're tough, but I'm saying that there is something, and again, it speaks to ultimately just being you is enough. I'm sorry. It's not enough.
Yeah.
It's not enough. Maybe if you're the only person on an island, cool. You're alone,
what I'm also hearing you say is that no woman wants a man who's harmless. She wants a man who
is peaceful. Yes, sir.
But you have to choose peace. Peace is not something you fall into. You choose it because you have the other option too.
Yes. You're capable of. You've got to be capable. Doesn't mean you do. It probably means you don't do.
Wow.
Because you actually have the choice because you can. When you don't have the choice, you don't have that option.
Is it hard to trust a man then that hasn't been in a fight, for example, in his life?
Well, I find it confusing. I just find it confusing if you haven't been in a fight. I mean, you're a little man. You go to school, you're going to be, 6 years old. You're going to punch, somebody's going to punch you. You're going to punch them. You're going to hit them. I mean, if you're 10, 12, 15, whatever, I mean, at a certain point, it's like you're going to, at some point, you're going to be in a physical altercation.
Well, if you would, you obviously don't have a son.
I mean, you don't have to have it be in a fight, but maybe they rode a bull.
Yeah. Well, you didn't have a boy, but if you were to have a son and he was going to school, there's this narrative. And my parents, I'm so grateful for them in this way because the narrative was if someone hits you, don't hit them back. My parents always said, if someone hits you, hit them fucking 3 times harder back and we'll deal with the principle or whatever.
Yes.
How do you reflect on like that sort of narrative and how you would have influenced your son?
Oh, I wouldn't need to. Gabby would take care of that for me.
Really?
Absolutely.
Yeah. How so?
Oh, yeah. Well, she would make sure that they knew, like, if somebody hits you, you hit them so they never hit you again.
I think that's a really empowering lesson for life.
It's back to consequence. Here we are at consequence again. Got to have a consequence. You're not going to hit somebody if you're going to get hit back 3 times as hard.
Yeah.
Probably avoid that.
And if he won't hit you back, you're likely going to hit him again.
Every single day you see him.
So it's actually like
sport. It'll be like sport. You'll be like, oh, hitting. It's like a punching bag.
Yeah.
There it is. There's Joey.
Yeah.
And I'd like to say, turn your cheek and take the thing. Yeah. At which point, when you're actually capable of actually doing damage, then you're making a choice. And, if you're not, that's not a choice. If you're not capable of defending yourself, that's not a choice. If you're capable of defending yourself and you're like a black belt martial artist and the guy hits you and you just look at him and go, okay, well, that's all you got. Okay. And just walk away. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a different scenario.
Yeah. But most men are sort of maybe even lying to themselves in that they think they have choice, but they don't have choice.
Exactly. That's a beautiful thing, right? What great deception, thinking you have choice and you don't. That's true slavery.
Thinking you have choice, but you don't.
Yeah. Isn't it? It's beautiful. You think you got to trust. You think you're choosing all this stuff. You think you're choosing who you elect, and they're just who they put in whoever they want. It's beautiful.
But I want to finish with this.
Okay.
This has been fucking amazing for me, so thank you.
Yes, sir.
There's a painting
Okay.
of your daughter.
Okay.
That your daughter
Yeah.
made when she was 12 years old with some of
my quotes.
Your quotes. And I want to just understand the story behind and the meaning behind some of these because they're fascinating to me. Blame is safer than praise.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
When they're praising you, they might be pounding you on the cross after.
When they're praising you, they might be pounding you onto the cross after. What does that mean? Blame. What is that?
Think about Jesus. You know, they're praising him. He's the Son of God.
So you'd rather
just crucify him after that. I'm just saying, like, when people are praising you, be cautious. Blame is like, if they're blaming you, it's like, it's your fault. It's a Thoreau. Thoreau is a great author. And that's one of his, blame is safer than praise. I mean, blame is safer than praise. Yeah, because if you're getting blamed, it's like, but you know how it is, lift them up, drop them down. When you're already down, you're down. It's like,
it's
cool.
Right. Yeah, no one cares.
No problem.
Yeah. Fuck. Use this one already, but I want to understand if there's any more that you have here. There is great honor in a failed attempt, but no honor in no attempt.
Exactly. So better to fail, better to attempt and fail than to not attempt, because there's no honor in it. There's no honor in not trying. There's always honor in trying. Hey, I tried to climb that mountain. How hard you try? As hard as I could. Amazing. Well, I didn't try to climb that mountain. Okay, well,
yeah,
there's no honor in that.
No honor in that.
Yeah. And it gets back to using that metaphor as a pursuit of goals, a pursuit of dreams, a pursuit of ideas, pursuit of something. Like, hey, you're going to paint a painting. Well, I was going to paint it, but didn't want to paint it.
Yeah.
Oh, you painted it, but it was terrible. But you put the time and the effort. You made an attempt.
You made an attempt. Maybe you'll have the same answer to this one. You won't get the ride if you don't commit to taking off.
Exactly. Well, we have a saying in surfing too. You don't kind of take off. It's about commitment. It's about the ability to commit. You either commit or don't. You don't kind of commit. Like, you can't kind of catch a wave. You either catch one or you don't. And it's super defined, which I always appreciated about the ocean.
Yeah.
It just forces that kind of, because there's very few things in life that are so definitive. It's very few. Things are just not definitive. There's always gray area and all this stuff. And the ocean does this: either you go or you don't go.
Or you don't go.
Like, it's like, there's no, you kind of went.
Yeah.
You partially went. You either just didn't or you did.
Yeah. Well, I don't know much about surfing, but it also seems to me that when I do get up on a wave, but I haven't fully committed energetically, it always finds me out.
Oh, of course. Of course. Well, the ocean is perceptive. It knows. Like, in what you give it, it takes back. Like, if I'll give you a situation where, like, somebody will frustrate me in the lineup and I'll get upset and everything and get mad. Inevitably, the next wave, I'll just get the thing on the top of my head, pitched over the falls, wipe out, break board, washed in, just, wounded, just laying there going on. So it really gives you back if you come with just cleanness and pureness, it just gives you the goods.
Wow.
And it's very, very, like, in that way, very, very honest. Like, it's so pure. Like, it's like, oh yeah, you pay when you act out there.
Sounds like the greatest mirror.
So great. Yeah. So beautiful.
Yeah, there's no lie in that.
So beautiful.
And even that
even when you know the lesson, sometimes you still get, even though you're like, I know, but I still have back. You just, like a little reminder.
There's one more I want to ask you. Even a blind squirrel finds a nut.
Yeah. Well, because you see it, you could dedicate your life to surfing. You could be out on a giant day and you just can't get a good one. And then you see somebody who's a little reckless and careless and maybe hasn't quite put the discipline and the focus and the whole, maybe that's your judgment of it or whatever, but you don't, they're a squirrel, and you see them come out, and they'll just get the wave of the day, and you're just like,
what's going on? Yeah.
What is happening? And it's just that there's we have a new saying, which is even a nut can find a blind squirrel.
Not good times. Flipped it on its head. Yeah.
But that speaks to that,
Yeah.
There's all these, analogies or parables and stuff that there's a reason why they're there, right?
Yeah.
They're just, they have truth in them.
Yeah.
They have truth. That's why that's why they are what they are. That's why they ring like they ring. That's why I like them. My friend will say, "Oh, Lairdisms," but it's just things I've heard that made sense to me. They just they go in and stay in because they come up in a situation. I'll be like, "Oh, that's fully appropriate for that.
Yeah.
That's fully appropriate for that."
That makes sense. Yeah.
And there's a lot. There's endless. The Bible is full of parables and a way to. Because I like what it happens is you've distilling sometimes a very complex thing down into something so simple. So simple. One of my favorite things that I quote often is that, well, there's a couple of them, but one of them is luck and chance is law not understood.
What does that mean?
Luck and chance are law not understood. So somebody goes, "Oh, that was lucky. The guy did da. Actually, no, there was some law. There was a law in the universe, whatever it was, that made that situation happen. But because we don't understand the law, we said, oh, that's lucky. That's just by chance. There's nothing by chance. There's nothing that's lucky. These are laws not understood. You're just not understanding the law. They say if you roll dice long enough, you'll have an even amount of numbers of all of them. Even amount of numbers of all of them. You just keep rolling, and then eventually you'll get to the even amount of numbers of all of them. And again, luck and chance are law not understood. Just like those are universal truths, right? We have these universal truths that time doesn't change, genre, nothing changes them. They're just, there's a great book that I like, and there's like 7 laws of the universe, but, like all is mental. There's a law of correspondence and vibration and rhythm and polarity and gender. And those are universal laws. Those are laws. Like those are truths that aren't going to change. Rhythm's not changing. Polarity's not changing. Vibration's not changing. Correspondence not changing. But all is mental is the first. The universe is mental. So.
Laird, I think that's an unbelievable way for us to close this out.
Amen.
To sit in front of someone who has touched greatness in so many ways, but to see you as so normal and so human, I think is the greatest testament that I can give to you.
Well, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
My friend had a saying, he's since passed, we're all in the same boat. We're all in the same boat. Like nobody is above anybody or below anybody. We're all in the same boat.
Yeah.
I think that's something that for all of us to remember. I've been fortunate to experience some amazing things, but I have all the things that everybody has. I have I have to sleep. I have to eat. I use the bathroom. I have this. I get sad. I get mad. I get this. We all have it, where no one's exempt. There's nobody exempt from the process. We're all subjected to gravity. I haven't seen anybody yet I can fly up an airplane, throw them out without a chute, and then have them land on this cement.
Maybe that's part of your aspiration.
There might be something. There might be something coming, but I think it's just a technology we don't understand.
Yeah.
But my point is that we're all, no one is, in Hawaii, a Hawaiian guy, a very tough guy. And when Hawaii lickings means you get beat up, right?
Okay.
And he says, no one is above lickings. So we'll leave it at that.
We'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
Thank you. It's been a real gift for me. As we just close this out, I know you got Hamilton House and things that are happening right now. So what do you feel called to share for those who listen to this and want to become more involved and immersed in what you have?
Well, Hamilton House is our latest kind of endeavor. It's a beautiful thing. We have some amazing people. It's kind of a little bit of like a stereotype of our house, just all the things going on and the evolution of things going on. And then of course there's, Superfood's always there, and that stuff is amazing products. We continue to build Laird Superfood to make, hydration bars, all the coffee stuff, but all high ingredients and super, function based. So, and then, so there's no end to that, there's no end to there's no end to the
You made me a
mocha.
mocha
You
one.
guys had a mocha.
I had a mocha one.
Yeah,
It was
the bars are
tremendous.
great. The bars are very good.
Mm-hmm.
So, this has been around for 10 years. It came from a recipe that I used to make myself and my friends. And then one friend said, you got to try to build a product with it. And off went Superfoods. So, and then we always have other stuff. Gabby has her podcast, the Gabby Reece Show.
Yeah.
Beautiful information on that.
Yeah.
And then, we're always, looking for new products and stuff to share with people. I feel a little bit like an obligation, that to kind of things that I benefit from, I like to share with other people.
Yeah.
And I've been fortunate to do that. That's very Hawaiian, aloha is generosity. Like Hawaiian, that's probably one of the number one attributes in the Hawaiian culture is their generosity. They're willing to give is kind of beyond our capability to understand, especially in modern society. But very generous. And I grew up that way. And so I always felt that way. I always have shared my training stuff, my sports stuff. Part of it maybe because I wasn't trying to beat the next guy. I didn't have to retain secrets. I was just kind of like, hey, you can use my board. And if you can do better things than I can do on it, awesome. Here's the thing I'm doing. This is what I love. And so, and for me, that's what works for me. That's what I do. That's just what I do. And there's a famous saying, don't fix it if it's not broken.
Thank you so much. It's been an amazing gift for me.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
Aloha.
Aloha.
Thank you.